Hey everybody, and welcome to Bits of Board, where we're talking board games, miniatures, cards, and dice. My name's Michael, and today we continue on our journey through the Kingdom Death Monster campaign. Now today we are likely facing one of our very toughest foes, the King's Man. Oh, I'm frightened for this one. I'm bringing the A-team because that's the kind of idiot that I can be sometimes. So we're going to have all the crew subbing out Bastion because I don't think he's going to be super reliable with the Twilight Swords. So we're going to bring along Freya instead, who's one of our newer additions. And she's going to be, taking on the role of the swordsman with that scrap sword. So we'll see all that in a sec. Right now, I just want you to cross your fingers, this one, cross your arms, cross your legs, cross your toes, do whatever you gotta do to make this work for us. Let's do it. Alright, so the first that we'll send out is Eva. And as you can see, she's running a little bit light on the armor things. She's really gonna be there for support with that cat eye circlet. And who knows, we may come across a mood that we need to get rid of. She's also got the bandages there, so she's really there for, looking after our guys. But on the off chance she does have to fight, she's running very strong with her fist and tooth ability, having picked up a specialization, which means if she gets knocked down, she can stand back up pretty much at the beginning of the monster's turn or the survivor's turn. Now, if she's using fist and tooth, which she will be, she gains +1 accuracy and +1 strength, as well as the savage ability. She still has the leader fighting art, which means when she encourages survivors, they gain a +1 speed token until the end of the round. Additionally, and most impressively, she's got the red fist secret fighting art, which grants her and all of the other survivors a +1 strength token, and they may use these strength tokens in place of survival. Add to that her quixotic ability, gaining +1 survival and +1 strength for being insane when she departs. That's going to give her 2 bonus strength tokens there. Insane. Next we've got Lucky, and he is running in hot with a full set of rawhide armor and the King's Spear, which means he can attack from 2 spaces away. He gains a +1 strength token for Eva's red fist ability, and because of his connected affinities on the rawhide vest, he gains a +1 evasion, just adding to his survivability. So like I said, he's got that rawhide armor, and in addition to that, he's got the Orator of Death fighting art. Once per showdown, he may spend an activation to have all non-death survivors gain +2 insanity, and he may well use that pretty quickly, because he will be entering this encounter with just 1 insanity from the Stone Noses. Next up we have Freya, and she is another hard hitter, sporting a fair bit of armor on her thanks to that Shrine innovation. She'll be running with the scrap sword with a full set of affinities, meaning she'll have the deadly ability with that. Now her armor in particular is going to give her a special ability to pounce. Hopefully we'll get to see that one in action today. Her connected affinities on the white line boots will give her +1 movement, and once again Eva's red fist ability gives her +1 strength. And last but not least, we have Ripper. Now she's running the absolute lightest here with very little armor going on, but she's going to be keeping out of the way and trying to melt some wounds off with that catgut bow. She's also got the clawhead arrow, which if she can land at least 1 hit, and she'll plan to do so pretty early, the King's Man will get that -1 evasion token, which is going to benefit everybody. Now, of course, she's got the Strategist fighting art, which means we get to place a giant stone face on the board, which is going to be awesome combined with the catgut bow. She too gains a +1 strength from Eva's red fist. And to top it all off, she has a bow specialization, which means that once per attack, she may reroll any misses with that bow, giving us the very best chance of survival.
There was once a monster that was to lead its master's regal procession. First, the monster came as a herald, then its hungry masters. So fierce were the monster's masters that it never thought to protect its own back, knowing what horrors lay behind it.
Now this encounter is probably going to be one of the most unique encounters we've come across. The Kingsman starts with a number of traits in play that greatly affect the way that we're going to be playing the game. First off, and probably most annoying, his hit location deck, pretty sizable as is, starts off with 3 battle pressure cards sitting on top. Now these pretty much ignore the wound attempt, meaning we have to clear 3 hits before we can even consider wounding the Kingsman. And to top it all off, at the beginning of every turn, these 3 hit locations that aren't actually hits are added back to the top of the hit location deck, meaning we have to pile on the wounds to make a dent. Now these also have a connection to the King's Step story event, which may allow us to gain a new fighting art if we're lucky and if we're brave enough to invest. Now the Kingsman is sitting at about 12 toughness, meaning we have to roll pretty high to make these wounds. The good news for us, and this is probably the only saving grace here, is that the monster has a -4 toughness when you attack from the blind spot. So not only do you get the bonus to hit, but a bonus to wound as well. Back to the evil stuff, we have King's Combat here, which means at the start of every monster turn, the Kingsman performs a basic action before drawing an AI card. And lastly, he has outfighting, which basically means he's got a reach of 2 as well, contending with our Lucky. This basically means he's going to be attacking from further away, making our survivors work harder to get in close and get into that blind spot. Each of our survivors also get given the Battle Tempo card, which will help us keep track of some of those, what were they, King's Step story event things. But yeah, it's looking like this is going to be our biggest challenge to date. All right, let's get stuck in. All right, here is our layout for our very first encounter with the Kingsman. As you can see, we've got our giant stone face out here. That's so the Ripper can jump up and hopefully pull off a couple of shots into the Kingsman's face. Hoping for the best here, guys. So, because it's a Nemesis encounter, our survivors get to go first. So we're going to begin by sending Ripper up to the giant stone face, and she's going to use her activation to get on top there. So she's in a solid position to lay down some fire with the catgut bow. Next up, we're going to take Lucky and bring him up to the edge of the cat grass there. He is in such a great location. He's going to be taking damage with +2 evasion on top of what he's already got. And because he's wearing some pretty decent armor, he's in with a good chance at least. Let's move Eva up and around the back here, and we'll do the same with Freya, keeping them out of range, because a lot of the Kingsman's attacks are actually going to attack from like a full solid 2 bars. You'll see as it comes through. This is going to be insane. All right, with everyone in a solid spot, we are going to start the Kingsman's activation. He begins with his King's Combat trait in play, so he does a basic action. Now his basic action is full on. He's going to be going the survivor in blind spot, no one's there, so the closest threat, which of course is going to be Lucky. Now because of his movement, he's actually going to keep his distance a little bit, and this is going to prevent us from rushing into his blind spot. So it's kind of defensive as well. Now this attack is going to run pretty much everywhere from here to over here. Thank goodness Lucky is the only one that's going to be copping the brunt of it. This is a speed 3. Normal accuracy for this one is a 3+. We're going to get 4+, 5+ for hanging around in that long grass, 7+ with his evasion, and a further +1 to that from the Rawhide Vest affinities. This is an 8+ attack. Whew. Let's see how we go. What did we get? A 5, a 2, and a 9. All right, so that is going to be 1 hit. Let's find out where. Straight to the chest. I'm thinking we better dodge this, guys. So we spend a survival, but we're going to roll and see if we can hopefully get that back. 2, no, we've lost it forever. But the good news is we're not suffering damage and we're not getting bashed and knocked about. So that is the basic action of the King's Man done. Let's find out what his AI card's got in store for us. Spear. So we're going the closest threat in field of view and in range. Well, that's still going to be lucky. This attack would actually reach all the way down to there. So thank goodness we haven't got everyone in a line. This is another 3 speed and a 3+. So once again, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the natural stuff and an 8+ for the rawhide vest. Let's see how we go. 2 2s and a 6. We are home free. All right, we drop that AI card and we are back into the survivor's turn. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get into the blind spot here. So we may as well get into a position where it's going to do the least amount of damage if he hits back hard. So let's move. Ooh, no, we kind of want to stay there. I really like that bonus to evasion, right? Let's attack. 2 speed, hoping for 5+ here. All right, we gain a 7, so that's 1 hit. Now, unfortunately, that's going to be the battle pressure card, so we just pretty much discard that straight away. Now, we're going to use another of Lucky's survival to surge, and I'm really hoping we get this survival back here, guys. Here we go. A 7, so we do get it back. He's still at 3, and this is going to allow us to attack again. 2 dice, 5+. An 8 and a 6. That is 2 hits, and we have the final 2 battle pressure cards out of the way for the moment. Now I'm looking forward to getting in there so we can do the King's Step story event, but not quite yet. I want to get him down to a position where we're kind of comfy. With that out of the way, it's time to attack with Ripper. Now, she could attack with the bow, but she's going to use the clawhead arrow. And for good reason. If she can nail a wound with this thing, the King's Man is going to have -1 evasion for the rest of the encounter. Now this will be hitting on a 3+, and because of her specialization, she will get a reroll if she fails here. No need, we make the hit, and we get the Regal faceplate, an arrow straight to the face. Wow. Now this has a wound reflex, which I'm certainly not looking forward to. Now this is a strength 6 weapon, which we're going to need, because the King's Man is sitting on a toughness of 12. Oh. So 6 off the 12 would make it a 6+. Thankfully, she's got 2 strength as well, bringing it down to a 4+, and an additional strength token, thanks to Eva, 3+. Can we make the wound? We certainly can, but only barely. Now, what's this wound reflex? The King's Man fights dirty, spewing acid in the attacker's eyes if the attacker is within 2 spaces. Oh, he's not. She's not. We're okay. Yeah. All right. So that is a hit location down and our very first wound against this guy. All right, that was pretty solid. Let's move Eva 2, 3, 4, 5, just up out of the way. She's going to stay out of sight for the time being, but that's not going to stop us from using the cat eye circlet now that we can see what is going on. Let's find out what the next 3 hit locations are. We've got these guys. So we've got the Regal breastplate, which is going to move him out of the way. Nothing's so bad here, actually. Got the halberd handle, we can gain courage here, and then we've got the halberd spear, which is a bad one. If the attacker is wearing any heavy gear, they suddenly feel their knees buckle, and a knockdown, great. Well, let's leave that one on the top, and just make sure that our next wound is not from someone with heavy gear. You know what? Let's pump up the action here, and we're going to activate with Eva again. She's going to spend 2 of her survival here. 1 so she can dash, and the other so she can surge. She'll be down to 2 survival. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But she'll be in the King's Man's blind spot for some solid attack. And by the looks of things, she's about the only one that can take out this hit location. Eva, 2 dice, hitting on a 3+, thanks to that -1 evasion on the King's Man. Let's roll. 2 4s, Nailed it. 2 hits. We draw the halberd spear and the halberd handle. All right. So we'll begin with the halberd spear. Now it looks like she's not wearing any heavy gear or anything like that. So let's hope for the best. Usually she'd be wounding on a 6+, but because she's in the blind spot, it drops down to a 2+. We've got this in the bag. Do we get anything? The blow cracks the finely worked spear blade. The King's Man gains a -1 spear token. This is the best. So not only have we got the -1 to evasion, but we're carrying the -1 to speed as well. Good. We lose a wound for that one, and we move to the halberd handle, if that ever focuses. Where is it? There it is. Now this has a reflex, so we'll cop that in a sec. Right now we're on for another 2+. Oh, let's see how we go. And it's a 6, not a 9, dang. All right, so we get the reflex, spend 2 survival to gain 1 courage, and boldly deflect the halberd, or all survivors within 2 spaces are knocked down. Well, we don't want that, and I wouldn't mind a little bit more courage maybe, but that's her last 2 survival. Oh man. All right, let's do it, and we bump up the courage. All right, lastly, we've got Freya. Ideally, we would love to get in a blind spot, but I don't think we can do that just yet. So, I think we got to play it safe and keep out of reach here. We'll move her up 2, 3, 4, 5, and hopefully that's far enough to sort of deal with what's going on next. All right, so we go to the King's Man's activation, and he's pretty much going to get straight stuck into Eva here. So this is a big risk. Only 2 speed, which is good, but he only needs 4+ to wound here. A 3 and a 9. All right, only one of them here. Still not great. Let's find out where. And it's straight to the chest. So that's going to be 3 damage there. We're going to reduce 1 point for 1 point of armor at the body, and then 1 light wound and 1 heavy wound. Now at this point, Eva becomes knocked down. But on top of that, she's got bash and knockback 5, which is going to knock her down 5 spaces that away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And really, that's the best result that we could have hoped for here. She's sort of out of harm's way now. There's some Arcanthus over here. Things are looking all right for her, and she's not dead. So let's see what else the King's Man can throw at us. Oh, we would have turned him around, wouldn't we? All right. All right. The King's Man stops suddenly, then kneels. The survivors are struck dumb and feel compelled to do the same. Intimidate all threats. Roll 1d10 for each threat. If the result is equal to or lower than the current insanity, they cannot resist and are knocked down. Any survivor whose result is higher than their current insanity gains 1 courage. This is a great event. All right. Now, Eva, she's not a threat, unfortunately. Knocked down. So we'll go to Ripper. Now she has 5 insanity, so we're aiming for a 6+ here. Let's go for gold. And we get a 9. So not only is she not knocked down, but she gains 1 courage, which means we have a bold story event for her. Let's do it. All right, this is pretty cool. So we got it. We got our bold in the showdown phase. So the essential difference between man and monster is a gap no human can understand. You accept this and tap into a deep well of deranged fortitude. Gain the following ability and roll on the table below. Ignore being knocked down by brain trauma and intimidation events. That's going to come in handy here. Nice. Now we also have to roll on the table, so let's do that. All right, and we gain 1 strength token for the remainder of this encounter, which is, pretty cool. So let's go to Freya. Now she's currently got 1 insanity, so as long as we don't roll a 1, we get a 6, and she is fine, so she gains 1 courage and finally lucky. What's he sitting on? 3 insanity, so we need a 4 plus. An 8, so we just make it. By double, okay. He's doing really well with courage at the moment. All right, well with that, we're back into the survivor's turn. Ah, I forgot. At the beginning of the monster's turn, we have to grab those 3 battle pressure cards and pop them back on top of the hit location deck. Yeah, it's brutal, but that's what we got. All right, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. So let's get lucky in there, into that blind spot, and hopefully we can get this King's Step ability. 2 dice, aiming for a 3 plus. A 7 and a 9, that's 2 hits, and 2 battle presence cards. Let's do the King's Step, guys. All right, so basically we're going to be rolling on the table here and hoping we get a 10. What are the odds? Let's find out. Oh no, it's not on camera. Hang on. Speaking. Look at that. Look. Oh, if only that was on camera, that would have looked so good. Promise you, that is the roll, and that is brilliant.
Your body trembles and your mind wavers. You struggle just to stay standing against the pressure projected by the monster.
Now, the King's Step secret fighting art is the key to hopefully doing some damage in this fight. Whenever you attack, you may discard any number of battle pressure hit locations drawn and draw an equal number of new hit locations. Whenever you attack after drawing hit locations but before rolling to wound, you may choose 1 hit location drawn and discard it to draw a new hit location. Traps will cancel the effects, but that is solid for us. This is amazing. All right, so we resolved that one, but we've still got a battle pressure card here, so we may as well discard that. Draw the next one. Oh, it's another battle pressure card. Let's discard that and draw an actual hit location, and we get the Regal Breastplate. This has a reflex, so let's see how we go. Usually a 6 plus to wound with all of his strengths and bonuses and stuff, but because we're attacking that blind spot, it's a 2 plus. And I know we've got that. 5. Good. So we discard another AI card and we resolve the reflex. Turn to face the attacker, and without turning, move the monster's 2 spaces directly away from attacker. Turn to face the attacker, then without turning, move the monster 2 spaces directly away from the attacker. If the attacker has King's Step, they may follow the King's Man and move 2 spaces forward. Otherwise, cancel all hits now out of range. Well, 1, 2, we could continue the move, but it's not like it's super risky, but I like the fact that we're out of range for the next attack, maybe. I don't know. Who knows what happens next? All right, let's go to Ripper. Now, Ripper is mighty fine with the bow. Now, this thing is 2 dice, but because she's got 1 speed, it will be 3 dice, and we will be aiming for 4 plus. No, 3 plus, thanks to that evasion token. And we get to re-roll any misses, which is awesome. So what do we get? A 9 and a 4, 2 hits. We got a 1 hit, which we'll re-roll, and we'll turn that into an 8 for 3 hits. We'll go the Regal Plume, which is an impervious hit location, the Regal Greaves, and the Regal Sheath. Now, 2 of these have reflexes, which may possibly move him away, so let's just deal with this silly impervious Regal Plume, and by the looks of it, hope we don't actually make the critical wound here. Now, our odds aren't great for a 6 plus, but we'll see how we go. And it's a 6, but impervious means no damage. So we move to the Regal Sheath. Ooh. It's not particularly bad. So the Regal Sheath will pretty much return all of those battle pressure cards back to the top of the deck. But I think we're going to be at the end of our activation. I don't feel like Freya's going to be able to get in there just yet. So that's okay. Let's go for those Regal Greaves. Now this does have the reflex of, running away a little bit, and then you can chase if you've got King Step. So let's hope we can get a wound here, 6+, and we score the 9. Now, has she got any luck? No, she does not. That's a shame. But we do get a wound, which means that AI card is in the wound stack. Now we turn to face the attacker and go boom, boom, 2 steps away. We're not going to chase because we don't need to. Now I'm assuming we're still in range here, guys. It's range 6 +2 because we're on the face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are still in range, so we're going to make this hit. Let's roll. And it's a 1, so it is a complete miss. Fair enough, he ran out of the way. The reflex, return any discarded battle pressure cards to the top of the deck. Yeah. Perform basic action targeting the attacker. All right, back they go. And the attack, ooh. What's his movement like, guys? Let's find out. Movement 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that will set him up for some pretty mean hit. And that'll set him up for a pretty mean hit here. He'll actually be going for Freya as well. Now, had I seen that coming, would I have moved Freya? Look, it's not a bad idea, eh? All right, so let's pretend our Kingsman's back there. Just after he picks the target, we're gonna move Freya using one of our survival. I hope this is okay. And she is going to haul butt with 5 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go there. And then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Cool. Now, so the Kingsman moves over here and does his attack. This one's down to 2 speed, and accuracy will be, it'll be hitting on a 4+. Yikes. Oh, we don't want her to get knocked off. This is not good. A 2 and an 8. Only 1 hit, but that's okay. I think we're going to dodge that hit. So we drop her survival down to 3, and we kind of live to fight another day here. All right, let's get Freya in with some hits, hopefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, this is not good. Now, I would love to use Pounce, but because Lucky's standing in the way, that would cause some sort of collision, maybe? I don't know, but not a good idea at this point. So I'm thinking we're actually just going to move her back into the long grass, just in case she's the target of the next attack, but I doubt it. All right, everyone's had their go. Eva's still knocked down. Now she could get up, but she doesn't really want to become a threat at this point, so we'll leave things as they are. It's time for the Kingsman's next attack. We begin with his basic action, and we've got 2 survivors sitting in range. We've currently got Ripper, and then we've got Lucky. We're going to turn the Kingsman to face Lucky here. This is a 2 speed, 5+. 2 and 1, no hits. All right. AI card though, what happens? Oh, another attack. And this one's going to be Cleave. Closest threat in field of view and in range. Well, that's going to be Lucky. Full move towards the target. He's not going anywhere because he's got that 2 reach. And then we do pretty much the same thing, except this one is a headhunter. So any hits will hit the head automatically. 2 speed, 5+. A 4 and a 2. My God, we are safe for another round here. This is mental. All right, so we're going to start the survivor's turn off by, having Eva stand up. It's a good start to the game there. Not bad, not bad. But that's where we'll leave her for the moment. Let's come back down here and figure out what we're going to do. Now, I would love to be attacking the Kingsman in the blind spot, but it's just not going to be a location that Lucky can hit right now, and he is by far the best at taking out these stupid little hit location annoyances. So, let's move him. Actually, let's just keep him right there. 2 dice, hitting on a 4+. A 6 and a 7, 2 hits. All right, so we draw our hit locations, and wouldn't you know it, we've got 2 battle pressure cards here, so we discard them and draw 2 more. We get another battle pressure card and the Regal Skirt. We'll discard that battle pressure card, and here we go with the Regal face plate. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. All right. So let's go for the Regal Skirt first, maybe. No. Yes. Oh dear. See, the Regal faceplate, if we make a wound here, we're essentially going to score 2 accuracy tokens. And so I don't want a wound there. Then again, if we go the Regal Skirt, we're going to get a basic action against us either way. This has the added benefit of possibly knocking me out of the way for the other one. So, shall we give it a shot? Let's go the Regal Skirt. Now this is a 6+ to wound. And we make the 6. That is another AI card out of the way. But now we get the basic action. So the King's Man will stay there, and he's going to attack, accuracy or 2 speed, and it will be a 4+. 4+? So he's got 2 evasion, +1 for the rawhide gear. This is a 6+. All right, 2 dice, 6+. A 1, and he does end up making a hit. Where does he hit? The head. Ooh, do we want to take that? We could take that, but then we'd get knocked away, which is kind of what we want. No, I think we will dodge that one because, you know, we don't want to really lose the head just yet. So we'll lose the survival, but we'll roll to see if we can get it back. And we do with a 9. Very nice. Still on 3 survival for lucky. Cool, keep it up. And now we move to the Regal faceplate. Now, I don't like this card. Nobody likes this card. I don't want to risk getting, you know, -2 accuracy. So I'm going to use my King's Step Secret Fighting Art to discard this hit location because I haven't actually rolled to wound yet. So we'll draw a new one, and it's the Halberd Spear, which would have been a first strike. Maybe I should have done these in the other order. Maybe I should have declared that first. Either way. Apologies, guys, if that was a mistake there. The Halberd Spear, first strike. If the attacker is wearing any heavy gear, they suddenly feel their knees buckle. Uh-oh. The spear is heavy. He falls over. Oh, I deserve that. All right. So we'll discard that. And our survivor is knocked down. Well, it's not the worst way that we could start. We did clear out all of those battle presence things. So shall we continue? Let's have Ripper pull out the bow and take a couple of shots. She has 1 speed and 3 speed on the weapon, so we are going for 5+ here with 3 dice. 5+, 1, 2 hits. Yes, she does. That would make it a 4+ and all 3 hit. I forgot about that. 3 hits. We get the Halberd Handle, the Regal Plume, and the Regal Greaves. Oh, let's roll for that Regal Plume first, hoping not to get a critical wound. We score a 4, which is rubbish, which is exactly what we wanted. But we've still got 2 other wound locations here. Now, both of these have reflexes. The Halberd Handle, we could possibly gain some more courage here. Wow, this is a great way to farm courage. Okay, let's do that. Rolling the Halberd Handle. And what do we need? 6+ to wound. Not a great chance, but we'll give it a shot. And we'll make it. All right. Spend 2 survival to gain +1 courage and boldly deflect the halberd, or all survivors within 2 spaces of the King's Man are knocked down. Well, that would include me, and I don't really want that to happen just yet, so we'll spend the survival. She's down to 1 survival, which is not ideal. We go to the Regal Greaves. So the weapon has, I said it was 6+. It's actually a 5+ because of that bonus to strength. I keep forgetting her bold event. Let's roll. A 7. We make the wound, so we discard another AI card from the deck, but we get the reflex. Turn to face the attacker. Yep, this one. All right. This is not good, so we're going to go 1, 2, and because Lucky was stood on, he's going to move 5 spaces away. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's going to move as far as he can. See you, man. Yeah, it was pointed out in the last video that I was missing the knockback if a monster lands on a survivor, which I thought was kind of cool because, you know, if someone did land on you, you'd probably crawl away about as far as you can. Alright, now Freya has 6 movement points because of her white lion boots. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She could get into that blind spot, but she can also pounce to jump in and essentially get some pretty solid damage from bonuses to strength and accuracy. But I think she gets those bonuses and then some if she attacks from that blind spot. It's just she's definitely going to get the next attack if she stays there. Well, she'll definitely get the attack either way. Let's move her in 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And she's going to attack with the scrap sword, which for us today is going to be on a 3+ hit. Which for us today is going to be hitting on a 3+. 2 dice. 2 hits. A 7 and a 9. So we get the Regal Sheath. The Regal Breastplate. Both of which are annoying. Let's go the Regal Sheath to begin with. Now Freya's going to be wounding normally on a 6+, but because of that blind spot attack, it's actually going to be a 2+. And she'll get a critical wound on a 9 or a 10. A 4, it is a wound, so we'll take it. We return any discarded battle pressure cards to the top of the deck. And then we perform a basic action targeting the attacker. So he'll turn to face and then actually step back so he can make full use of his reach. 2 speed, going for a 4+. A 3, and it does still get a hit. Where does that hit land? Whoa, straight onto the legs. Now she's got quite a bit of armor there, but she's still going to spend the survival to dodge it. And now, unfortunately, the next attack is out of range. This was going to happen either way, so that's a shame. Now we could have Eva run down to attack, but she's obviously not in a very good place to be receiving damage. So let's send her over to the Arcanthus plant over here, and we'll roll for harvest. That's a 5. What is that? Find something tasty and consume. Lovely, that means we get 1 point of survival on her again. Yes. Now that'll be it for all of our survivors' actions. So we move into the King's Man's action. And I'll just double check. Yep, 3 battle pressure cards sitting on top of the deck, so we are all good there. We begin with another basic attack targeting Freya. 2 speed, 4+. A 2 and a 7. That is a hit. Where does it hit? To the head. Yeah, we don't want that. We'll spend another point of survival. She's now down to 1. But she's not out of the game yet. But then again, she's not out of the woods yet. We draw the next AI card. Oh boy, this looks bad. The King's Grace. All threats in the zone of death, which is 2 spaces away all around. Now Freya is the only one in there. That's the good news, but this is another 2 speed, 4+. Come on, Lucky. Okay, only 1 hit, so we will make it out of here alive, I think. Let's find out where that hit goes. To the chest. Let's take this body shot. 3 armor, gone. And with that, we're back into the survivor's turn. Now Lucky stands because he was knocked down before the monster's activation. Lucky moves. Oh, actually, he doesn't have to move that far, does he? He can get in there and he's going to attack with that King's Spear while still being protected by the long grass. 2 speed, 4+. 2 hits. Battle pressure, battle pressure, battle pressure. So we still get 2 hits on top of that. The Regal Gut Plate and the Regal Vambraces. Now both of these will have that move back 2 space thing, which is actually not a big deal for us because we're awesome and have the King's Step. So we're going to go with that Regal Gut Plate to begin with. This is going to be a 6+. And we get the 8. Oh, I saw it tipping towards the critical there. That's a wound, which is awesome. At this point, the AI deck is empty, so I'm going to shuffle that up and load it back up. Now the reflex here is the King's Man turns to face the attacker and steps back 2 spaces. Lucky can keep up with him with the King step, moves 2 spaces forward and continues the assault. We now roll for Regal Vambraces. Oh, a 1 and a miss. The reflex still occurs and he moves back 2 spaces. Lucky decides to keep up because he's got that wonderful evasion. He really wants to be the target of any next attacks. Let's attack next with Ripper down here. 3 dice, 3+. 2 perfect hits and a 6, so that's 3 hits in total. We are getting to the end of the hit location deck here, guys, so I am super scared for this trap card coming out. Okay, what do we got? Axeblade, Regal Collar, and Regal Knees. Thank goodness there are no trap cards here. Oh, there is a Death Blow, damn. I don't think we're anywhere near it. Alright, well we have to do the first strike ones first anyway. Let's go with the Regal Knees first. If the attacker is wearing any heavy gear, oh no. Nah, we are okay. This is wonderful. Let's roll for the wound. 5+. That is a 10 and a critical wound. What? Alright, the King's Man's knee is shattered. He has a broken knee, and this affects some AI cards, so we'll keep that one handy. We discard an AI card from the deck. Next, we have the Axeblade, another first strike location. If the attacker is wearing any heavy gear, she's not. All is well. Let's go for another critical. Let's do it. What is it? It's a 9. Oh, we don't have any luck on our sides, do we? I think I've checked this before. No, we do not. Oh. But it is another wound. And then we have the Regal Collar, which could be brilliant once upon a time. We roll for that. 5+. And we do get, oh, bloody hell. But no critical wounds on this location, so another AI card down, and I don't want to say it, but I think we've got this. Let's move Eva into that blind spot. She's been just hanging around waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. We need 2 wounds to end this. 2 dice going for 4+. 2 7s, 2 hits. Alright, we draw, focus, the Regal back, and oh, no! Acid Blood Discharge Trap, reshuffle the hit location deck. No! Oh, this sucks. Alright, we shuffle that hit location deck up. This is terrible news because those battle pressure cards, well, they're back on top. Oh god. Oh, actually, I might have to reshuffle them because I forgot to read the text on the trap. Alright. Text on the trap. Attacker is doomed. All survivors within 2 spaces of the monster suffer damage to a random hit location equal to the... Oh my god. Uh-oh. There are so many wounds on the wound stack. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my god. We gonna die. Oh man. Okay. Oh, it doesn't really matter where she's gonna get hit. To the chest. Oh. Well, she's definitely 100,000% knocked down, right? She's already got a heavy wound on the chest, so now it's time to roll for it. Now, even though we've just received 11 damage to one location, the good news is we don't have to roll 11 times for injuries here. I've got the chart open, I'm gonna roll. We get a 6. This particular one is disemboweled. Your movement is reduced to 1 until the showdown ends. Gain 1 bleeding token. Skip the next hunt. If you suffer disemboweled during a showdown, at least 1 other survivor must live to the end of the showdown to carry you back to the settlement. Otherwise, at the end of the showdown, you are lost. Dead. Okay. I'm okay with that for the moment. That's not what I'm worried about right now. We'll give her her bleeding token. No worries, there it is. She can have it. She can have it. What I am worried about is this guy. Where is he getting his damage? To the hands, to the arms. 3 points of damage to the arms, and then we fill up the light and heavy box, and now we got to roll on that severe injury chart for him as well. Let's see how we go. A 9. That's going to be pretty good, I think. Let's see. Dislocated shoulder. Pop. You cannot activate two-handed or paired weapons or use block until showdown ends. Gain +1 bleeding token. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll take that. You can have a bleeding token as well. There it is. What I am annoyed about is that the King's Spear is actually a two-handed weapon, and I kind of need that. All right, so all this has happened. We have one other survivor hanging over here. Let's see them. There she is. There's Freya eating some chicken. My hero. All right, so not only does she need to take out 2 more wounds, but to do that, she needs to take out those goddamn battle pressure cards. Fire up. Let's make use of Lucky again and hope for the best. He's still got his dash and he's still got his surge, right? So we're going to run in and attack. We need to get rid of those battle pressure cards so Freya can get in there and do whatever last bits of damage she needs to do. We've got Dry Leaf here, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about the best we can do because we've only got Fist and Tooth here, guys. 2 dice, 6+. 7, so that's 1 hit and all we need. We draw through our battle pressure cards because that is what the King's Step does for us. All right, we lose them and we draw 1 legitimate card to wound here, and that is the Regal Plume, which is impervious, which sucks. Okay, we roll for it anyway because that's what we got to do. Thank goodness we don't get a critical wound. And we move on, and Freya has the chance to end this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's gonna get right up there and attack with the scrap sword. 2 dice, 3+. A 1 and a 3, only 1 hit. What do we get? The Regal Faceplate. Uh-oh. This has got the -2 accuracy thing. We've seen this before, and it sucks. We need a critical wound here. Now we have Deadly, which gives us the crit on the 9 or a 10. It's a 3. So we don't even get the wound. That's okay. You know what? That's okay. We tried our hardest, and now we're about to die. King's Mad activates. Battle pressure cards back on the hit location deck. Basic action, number 1. Closest threat. It's going to be Lucky here. 2 speed, 6+. A 4 and an 8. 1 hit. Where does it hit? The legs. You know what? We're going to take that 3 damage to the legs there. And let's go again because his actual AI card can't be drawn. He's got none. 2 dice, 6+. A 2 and an 8. That's 1 hit. This is not good. Where's it going? To the head. And we'll have to take this one. So 0 armor at the head location. And on top of that, we've got some mean knockback here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder if we go onto the stone face. He's definitely knocked down and definitely going to get collision. I'm going to pop him there for the time being. But he does get 1 damage to... Oh, the head. That's not good. All right, so we fill in his heavy damage location. That's all we've got to do for the moment. And that is it for everyone there. We're going to have Eva stand up back there. Now this King's Man, he is a tricky one because he has got himself back up against the wall there. We cannot get to his weak spot, so we've got to try and punch through his armor. And with our most accomplished attacker, the remover of battle presence, out of action, we're going to have to spend some survival. Eva uses her remaining survival that she picked up from the Arcanthus and encourages Lucky to stand. He gets a +1 to speed, and we're going to make use of it, right? He's going to full move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there in front. 3 dice. 6+. 1 hit. Oh, look, it's all we need. We just need to clear out those bloody battle pressure cards. And what have we got instead? Regal Gauntlet. This does have a wound where the attacker gains survival. Awesome. What do we need? We actually need a 9+ here, guys. Oh, God. We get it anyway. Cool. Well, Lucky gains 1 survival. Not that he needs it. Far out. We're attacking with Fist and Tooth here, right? Because we've dislocated our shoulder. We can't use the spear. And so, because we're using Fist and Tooth, we get Deadly, which gives us the bonus luck. And we happen to roll a 9, which is the lowest we could possibly roll to get the wound, and we make the critical wound anyway. Oh, what a day. The King's man is dead. And you know what? We survived. Too good, guys. Too good. I can't fathom that this actually happened. Okay. Cool. What do we get for it, guys? Let's find out. Alright. So let's have a squiz at this aftermath. Any victorious survivors may immediately select spear weapon proficiency, regardless of age milestones. That's cool. For victory, we all get 1 hunt XP. Fantastic. 1 weapon proficiency level, or 1 spear proficiency level, because that's a monster level 1. And then we get our rewards. Cool. So let's fill in our hunt XP. All right. It looks like Eva is hitting level 2. And Ripper as well. We've got 2 age events coming up here. That's brilliant. And we're going for improved reflexes. So I'll just give you a quick look at this, and then we're just going to roll for each of them. That's the improved reflexes stuff. Oh, why won't you stay in focus? The years sharpen your reflexes. Roll on the table below. All right, we'll roll for Ripper. A 9 and a 1 brings us to 10, and that is +1 permanent strength. You go, girl. 3 strength for Ripper, and we move to Eva. A 7 and a 7, 14. 1 permanent strength as well. She is so strong. Awesome. That's the age stuff. Let's get back into things. Now we must do the rewards. The good bit, right? The air grows still, and a palpable feeling of dread comes over the survivor that dealt the final wound to the King's man. King's Curse.
There was once a monster that was to lead its master's regal procession. First, the monster came as a herald, then its hungry masters. So fierce were the monster's masters that it never thought to protect its own back, knowing what horrors lay behind it.
Alright, so we roll on the King's Curse table. We get the chest piece.
With a horrific crunch, your ribcage bursts from your chest and warps drastically, puncturing your internal organs. Your open stomach pours acid over your exposed innards. You double over, vomiting foamy chunks everywhere. Finally, you stand, drawing no breath, but somehow alive.
Gain the Regal Placard rare gear and place it in your gear grid now. The other returning survivors suffer 3 brain event damage. Your body seems to move on its own. Gain the King's Step secret fighting art. Well, if we didn't have it already, that would be good, but this is looking bad for the long term for Lucky. He's so lucky. And here it is, the Regal plaque art. Now this is pretty heavy, some heavy duty armor here. 4 armor, but at the end of every Aftermath, we get the King's Curse event, which means this armor set is only going to grow. Alright, with that horrific stuff out of the way, we roll 1d10 plus the defeated monster level, so +1, and the group gains the following reward. Let's roll. Alright, 1 additional fighting art for each survivor. We begin with Freya. We pull Otherworldly Luck. That is an expansion one. Extra Sense. You may dodge 1 additional time per round. That's cool. I imagine you still have to spend the survival, but that's not bad. Let's go to Ripper. And Unconscious Fighter. It takes 7 bleeding tokens to kill you. Lovely. Next we have Eva, and we pull Rhythm Chaser. On arrival, gain +1 evasion token. When you are knocked down, if you don't have an instrument in your gear grid, remove all of your +1 evasion cards. That's perfect for her. Okay. Alright, so we made it, but we were so lucky there. There were a number of AI cards that I'm sure we'll see them coming up, because the next time we encounter the King's Man, it's going to be at level 2, and again at level 3 after that. So while it was a victory for us today, we're in for some trouble later on down the track. It's a bittersweet victory. Yeah, we won, and yes, we don't lose 4 perfectly amazing survivors, right? But it marks the end of the line for Lucky. He's essentially got 4 more encounters in him, and at the end of that 4th, the armor will take his life. Well, more on that later. Anyway, so with all that out of the way, we're returned into the settlement phase of that Lantern Year 6, and it's basically time to figure out what we're going to do. Are we going to, well, we've got to hunt, but what are we going to hunt? So leave that with me. We're going to have another shot at this next week. Keep this journey underway. Yeah, so that's probably about it for today. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. As always, it's lovely to have you all on board, and thank you very much for watching all the way here. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I love to hear from you guys, and I like to see this this community that we're building growing. It's, what can I say? Always very humbled by your support. It's brilliant. That being said, though, we're about done. So, as always, my name's Michael. This is Bits Aboard. We'll catch you next time.